Hello, Aortic Hope community. It's Tammy Warner here for our Monday Live. Please, before I forget to tell you, please like and share and subscribe to our channel. It helps us so much to get the information out and to reach people that are looking for us but don't know where to find us yet. I remember being in that spot and I accidentally found Aortic Hope, and I've been very happy that I have. So we'll start out with movement for Monday. We always do movement Monday. And so this topic last Monday was about summer, and summer is here, and we all know it's tempting to stay inside with the AC, but don't let the heat stop you from getting exercise and enjoying the outdoors. You can go out sometime during the day, and here's some tips how to do it safely and move your body at the same time. So stay hydrated. This is a no-brainer. We all know this, but we often forget to drink enough water. Even if you're sweating buckets, you don't think about it, but aim for about 8 glasses of water a day if you're active. And you can add some electrolytes to your water. There's so many things out there right now that you can pick from. Smart water, there's all kinds of crystallized things you can put in your drinks now. But, and I've always read that you should drink half of your body weight. So you're trying to figure out if 8 drinks is enough for you in one day, do it that way. If 8 glasses is enough, it might not be enough. Avoid the hottest part of the day. So we've always known this, that the sun is the strongest between, I've always said 10 to 3. This one says 10 to 4. And so try to schedule your walks or anything like that so that you avoid heat stroke, sunburn, and you'll also have more energy if you go outside when it's starting to cool down or in the early morning. Wear light and breathable clothing. Again, there's so much on the market now that you can choose from. They have so many fabrics that wick away the moisture and allow air to circulate. Always avoid dark clothes since that absorbs the heat and will make you feel hotter. And always wear your hat and your sunglasses and your sunscreen. We've started keeping sunscreen in our car because so that we'll reapply it when we go into like a farmer's market or something like that. So find the tricks that work for you. Choose low intensity activities. You don't have to run a marathon to work out in the heat. You can still do a workout like walking, biking, swimming, yoga outside. These activities will keep your heart rate up and body temperature lower, but you'll still burn calories. One of the best things that you can do is take a walk after a meal, especially your largest meal of the day. So if it's your evening meal, that's a great time to take a walk afterwards. I'm lucky enough to have a trail right outside my back door. So we've been trying that after our evening meal, we've been trying to eat a little bit earlier, like 5:30, 6 o'clock, instead of waiting till 6:30 to eat, and then go outside and take a couple laps around. It really does make a difference. And listen to your body. We've become very in tune to your bodies. If you're going through aortic disease, you know when you should stop, you know when you're not feeling well. I'm sure you'll be tracking your heart rate. If you just feel faint, any of those things, you need to get medical attention. So we hope these tips can help you be a little bit more active. You don't have to sacrifice your fitness goals for your comfort. Ask your doctor also if you have started a routine and if you're not sure if it's the right one for you. Ask your doctor to clear you for certain things. It makes a huge difference in when you have a relationship with your doctor, and the portal makes it so easy to do that now. I send my doctors questions all the time in the portals. So, okay, that's movement, Monday movement. Let's see what Topic Tuesday was all about. So this was last week on Topic Tuesday. This one was part of our educational series. And I think it was Adam that wrote this because last week it was Duke. But so we're talking more and more about the CT and echo imaging for aortic disease. And these are 2 invaluable ways for doctors to diagnose and monitor our aortic disease. And so probably one of these 2, either the CT scan or the echo imaging, the MRI, one of these are probably part of your surveillance schedule. So let's take a look.
Hold on a
So here we
second.
go.
Tammy,
Yes.
which way is your left?
This
Okay,
way?
can I get you to move to your other way? Just a little bit, not
Right?
too much. Yeah, not too much. There we go. Just a little bit
Okay.
more, a little bit more.
Thank you. See
Yeah, I
me?
want to see the second image.
Oh,
Yeah,
was
there you
I
go.
right in the picture?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
right in there.
So I
Thank you.
can't see myself. For anybody listening, I can't see myself, but Josh is helping out here. So here are the two images. So the one, I'm assuming that both of these, no, it said that one is the CT scan and one is an echo and one is a CT. So I'm not sure which is which. I can't tell. But this week we want to build on our imaging theme by discussing a new type of test, which I'm not sure this is, well, it's new, but I hear about it a lot in the community. Magnetic resonance angiography is commonly known as MRA. There's so much information about this in our community. People talk about this all the time. So you're probably familiar with an MRI, or the magnetic resonance image, which works off of radio waves and magnetic physical properties to create an image. But MRA is a special type of MRI, which is able to look at an individual's blood vessels without the need for a catheterization. So he added a pro tip. The angiography will always refer to the act of visualizing within blood vessels and organs, including arteries and veins. In our case here, an MRA will help us look within the aorta and see any ballooning or an aneurysm or even a dissection. So here we go. Those are the images that you would be seeing. And I can't tell you which ones are dissections and which ones are aneurysms. But during an MRA, you'll be fully awake and asked to lay down within a large tube-like MRI scanner. It's important for you to stay as still as you can, and that will help reduce any artifacts or misinformation in the scan, and allow for clearer images. Using an MRA scanner will allow your healthcare providers to see exactly where along the aorta an aneurysm or dissection is formed, and the diameter and length of the disease, which will include any branch vessels coming off of the aorta. So that's what it looks like. I've never had one of those done. My doctors, when I've asked about this, my doctors have said, for my case, it's best if I have a CT scan. So for my surveillance, and it's really important to ask your team, what is my surveillance plan? What is my surveillance plan going to look like? So what my surveillance plan is an echo, 6 months later, a CT scan with contrast, 6 months later, an echo, 6 months later, a CT scan. So for aortic disease, doctors may order contrast, which enhances the MRA. The principle here is very similar to contrast used in CT scans, which is an iodine-based dye. It's injected directly into your vein to help enhance the quality of the image and highlight any areas receiving increased or decreased blood flow. If you've never had this done, one of the things they didn't tell me was when they start putting the dye in, so they'll do the scans, however you're having it done, they'll do it without the dye at first. And then they'll say, okay, we're putting the dye in. For some reason, it always makes you feel like you're wetting yourself. And it's the oddest feeling.
Uh-oh, did I lose Tammy? I'm just gonna pause us out over here for a little bit, everybody, and we'll see if she comes back to us. Oh, she's almost back. You're almost. Hold on. We're gonna bring you right back into frame here as soon as you resolve. Eek. And you're back.
Okay. So for dissections, MRAs will also help distinguish between the true and false lumen, which will show recovery, help show recovery after surgery. So the false and true lumen is something that your doctor will look for. It helps him understand your recovery rate. And it's the coagulation that occurs in between the layers of your dissection or your aneurysm. So there's lots of pictures here. And you can ask to see your own images. If your doctor doesn't offer, ask to see your images. I've had two doctors. I've had my surgeon has taken me in to show me my images and explain exactly what happened to me. And I've had my vascular surgeon take me in and show me the images. So if they don't offer, ask. While an MRA is a low risk procedure, there are some things to be mindful of. First of all, you can't have it if you've ever have any metals in your body. So that makes sense. So obviously you'll remove your jewelry. If you or a loved one has ever had a metallic implant in your put in, such as a pacemaker, it's crucial that you bring this up to your physician so they can see the material, if the material will interfere with the machine. So you have to advocate for yourself. Be sure to remove any and all earrings, any kind of jewelry. And additionally, if you have ever had a tattoo done at home or outside of a licensed tattoo parlor, it's important to bring this up because of metallic components. With regards to the contrast enhanced MRA, some people may experience mild discomfort during the dye insertion, including tingling at the injection site or an abnormal taste. I've had the abnormal taste, but I've never had the tingling. These symptoms will go away on their own, but be sure to communicate any discomforts to your doctor. But that's where I was telling you, you will get the feeling that you wet yourself. Your body gets real warm and all of a sudden you think you wet yourself, but you haven't. Finally, you need to let them know if you've ever had an allergic reaction to any kind of contrast dyes or anybody in your family. Also, if you've ever been told you had any kind of kidney disease, you would not want to have this dye put back in. And the important thing with the dye is when you do leave, drink as much water as possible, and that will really help. So that was from Adam, and we thank Adam for that. And he says, always think aorta, which is very true. So always think aorta, and help your doctors think aorta too. Therapeutic Thursday. We always skip Wednesday because that's usually a contest. I mail out the contest winning prizes. I was out of town last week, so I have two of them to put in the mail. So if you're one of the two waiting for your prize, it'll go in. I don't know, it's 3 o'clock. After 3 o'clock today, I probably won't make it to the post office, but we'll definitely go in the mail tomorrow. So Therapeutic Thursday, a question that's been posed: how much of our identity is tied up in our disability or our relationship with our disability, or even your relationship with your disease? To begin to even process this, we must define disability, and disability is a physical or mental condition that limits a person's movements, senses, or activities. So as a special education teacher, I never really had a problem of calling myself disabled or thinking of myself as differently abled now. But I know that can be a really hard transition. Not everyone with aortic disease is left with a disability, and most of our disabilities are not visible either. But for those of you who have been significantly affected by aortic disease or its repercussions, what is your relationship between yourself and your disability? Some of the community prefer to use the terms less able versus disabled, or differently abled. Whenever possible, try to flip the script and make it change your mindset. However, there are ways to be mindful of those things that are mindful of those that are disabled. Elia Cooks Campbell wrote a very interesting article in Better Up titled "Why You Shouldn't Use Differently Abled Anymore." And this is what she wrote. As writer and disability rights activist Emily Ledoux puts it in her piece from the Center for Disability Rights, we are all differently abled. The use of the term implies a standard body that has standard skills and a standard mind that thinks in standard ways. Who among us really fits that description? We all have ways of navigating the world that utilize our unique strengths and compensate for our weaknesses. Different is standard, and it's those who have had the privilege of designing the world around themselves that don't think so. So, I mean, I completely agree with this. We all have our own way of doing things based on our strengths and needs. I am a terrible speller unless I can write it down. If you ask me to spell a word and I don't have a paper or pencil in front of me, I'll use my finger to try to like write it out because I'm so visual that way. So if you are not a visual learner, you have found ways to compensate for your weaknesses, whether way before aortic disease. If you're an auditory learner and you were able to learn the multiplication facts by singing them, that was a different way of learning, neither better or worse. So we all do all have different ways of learning and dealing with our abilities. So that was a nice little quote there. I liked that one. Josh, is anybody with us that I can ask them how they've dealt with it?
Well, Diane seems to have dropped in to say hi. She said that she wasn't able to join us. I'm not sure what's going on. I'll have to double check with why
Okay.
she can't join us. She should be on here making us laugh.
Yes. Okay, Survivor Series. We didn't have anybody this past Saturday, but we did put out there to please share your story. The biggest impact that we seem to have with people, besides having our support groups. I couldn't come up with the word. Besides having our support groups, one of the biggest impacts we have are people that are able to find our Survivor Series. It helps so much to hear somebody else's story. It helps so much to understand the terminology. It helps to hear what other people's experiences are. I learned so much about what to ask my doctor by other people's experiences. I had no clue that I could go to cardiac rehab. Nobody even mentioned it to me. I had to say it to my doctor. So please share your story, your experiences. We really want to make that available to our community, and makes a huge difference. So just get in touch with us. There's a form you can fill out, and we will be happy to get back in touch with you. And then there's a really important survey that's going on out right there. It's happened, I think, for the past 3 or 4 years. If you have completed this survey in the past, yes, you can do it again. We want to do this every year. This study is conducted by a group of physicians in New York who are very involved with aortic health. And they want to understand our experience of aortic dissection or disease and the impact it's had on your life, because they want to better patient care. They finally have recognized in the past couple of years the impact that this disease has on our life, especially your mental health. And they are trying to study it and make other doctors aware about it. So we have a link that's right there in our blog that you can go to, and it doesn't take long. It's actually kind of thought-provoking. So please go do that. We would really appreciate it. So that's it for this
Hold on,
week.
almost. We should go into
Somebody,
events.
oh, I don't have events.
No, just click the tab or click the link right
Oh,
there.
we can
Yeah.
do it. Okay.
Yeah. Let's take a look.
Okay. So here we have, where we were going to start. Okay. Monday, we did our weekend review. Thursday, the 10th is that hilarious aorta hangout. I hear that if you want to hear some of the best jokes, that's the place to go on Thursdays at 2:00. And then Thursday, the 10th, we also have a bereavement support group meeting. And next Monday, we will do the weekend review. Karen will be here. Then again on Thursday, the aortic hangout. If you sign up once, you'll get notice every week so that you can sign in again. And then if you're looking for the caregivers group, that happens on Saturdays at Saturday, the 19th at 4:00. And what else is different in here? The Aortic Hope on Wednesday, the 30th, we have the virtual support group meeting for the aortic community. And then again, that Thursday. So every Thursday there's the hangout. But if you want the support groups and dive a little deeper, take a look at our calendar here. And then I wanted to say, anybody that had their dissection this month, the month of August, and you signed up for Hope Mail to celebrate your aortiversary. All of that Hope Mail went into the mail last week. If you have never signed up for Hope Mail, take a look for that in our programs, and I think the link is under there for Hope Mail, and I will be sure to get that out to you. So I hope everybody has a great week. I know we're having going to have really bad storms here on the East Coast starting in a few hours, so everybody stay safe. And I guess that's it for this week. Be well, everyone.